rambling because I don't know. I've just got like this butterfly feeling in my stomach for the rest of the year. I think that, yes, it's the holidays, but we have so many awesome things going on. So, anyway, I'm not going to ramble anymore. We have a beautiful, beautiful guest speaker. It's Brittany, and Brittany and I have been friends on Facebook for a while, but we met in Cancun for the first time last year, and it was like we had already met before in life. Very natural, just hanging out and just talking about goals and life, and
go legit.
And you hear Paul in the background. He said, "Go legit."
Oh, I miss you.
Well, he's trying to get but we had a great time bonding, and then of course at Summit we got to spend some time together, and I just think she's just an amazing spirit. If you follow her on Facebook, her posts are always well thought out. I mean, you can always tell that she puts a lot into her posts. Her pictures are awesome. And she's built an incredible business. And when did you start?
November of 2013.
Okay. So we're right at 2 years. 2 years. Right. She is a diamond coach, and I have a feeling that's about to change soon. And Success Club. Legend. So boom sauce. All right. So we're going to just listen to her and hear her story, and she's going to share some tips on how she's just created a booming business. And I'm going to let you take it away.
Hi. I'm so excited to be here. I was actually a little thrown by Natalie asking me to do this, just because I feel like a lot of people look at rank and think that you're automatically a good leader and, you've grown this amazing organization. But from getting to know the business a little bit more, and a lot of the leaders and the top coaches, that rank doesn't necessarily mean that you have built a necessarily strong organization, because I think people think, they automatically think of the Lindsay Matways and things like that. And when in reality, you could be an emerald coach and have an amazing business, or a diamond coach and have an amazing business. But I also want to say that I have been a coach for 2 years, but I really haven't been seriously actively working the business for till about a year ago. And that's only because I feel like I had to self-learn a lot of stuff on my own. But that I feel kind of pushed me back a little bit, just because while there's lots of trainings out there, and the Coach Online Office is great, and Team Boss has, the structure they have put together, I really wanted to break away and do my own thing. That's just my personality. I'm a do-it-yourself kind of person, which is something I'm working on, because in network marketing, you can't do it all. You can't run everybody's businesses for them, and that's my personality. So that's something I'm working on, but it has worked out well for our business. We have almost 100 people in my organization, which is super exciting. About to bring 2 diamond coaches on one of my legs up, hopefully by the end of the year. So that'll be super exciting. And I don't think that, and I look at people, and I do the whole comparison to other people thing. I don't know if y'all follow Bonnie Engvall on Facebook, but she just hit 2 years as a coach, and she just paid off $200,000 worth of debt. So she's rocking it. She's a 9-star, I believe, and she's a top 10 coach currently. So I constantly think to myself, oh my gosh, I've been a coach for 2 years too. Like, what in the world is the difference here? But I think a lot of it just has to do with how, personality types, your work ethic. And I really want to stress that no matter what anybody tells you, the only difference between you and another coach is your work ethic. That's the only difference. There's absolutely nothing else. We all follow the same structure. We all have coach basics, things like that. We run free groups. We run challenge groups. We do sneak peeks. Like, everything is the same. It's how your work ethic that's involved. That being said, I guess I'll start at the beginning of my story. 2013 was the absolute worst year of my life, and my 20s were not ideal. So I did a lot of struggling. I have a master's degree in behavioral psychology, so I have pretty much worked my ass off in everything I have ever done. And when I got my master's degree, I was finishing up. I was working 4 jobs at the time and finishing up grad school. So I was working as a bartender at a strip club. I was working on the machine shop floor of a local engineering company. So I was doing hard labor, dirty all the time, that sort of thing. And I had just started Beachbody coaching in 2013. So I count that as a job, but I really wasn't actively in it. And then I was helping my mom on the side with her work. So that was technically 4 jobs, running myself super thin. And I also want to say that none of those jobs were beneath me. I have never felt that, I've always been taught, you do what you have to do to get by, that sort of thing. But I knew, I was struggling to find a job. I had sent out hundreds of resumes, doors constantly shut in my face, which was super weird because growing up, in sports and in school and in anything I've ever done, it had always just worked out for me. Not that the work wasn't there, but like if I applied for a job, I got that job, that's the kind of mentality I had grown up with. And when things weren't working out for me, it was a really good learning experience. I learned a lot about myself and what I was capable of, but it literally 2013 was, every night, every single night I would cry to my mom. All my friends were moving into different phases of their lives. They were getting married and starting families and getting amazing jobs. And I was stuck in this, emotionally draining relationship. And I was working 4 jobs and I couldn't figure out where I went wrong in my life. I had got this degree. I had done everything society told me to do, and nothing was working out for me. And finally, what was keeping me sane through this whole process, which was about a year-long process, was insanity. Okay, I had met Shaun T before when Hip Hop Abs first came out, and I paid 3 payments of $29.99 for that program that is now $19. So when it first came out, I made the 3 payments. So I fell in love with Shaun T a long time ago. I think I was 19 or 18 when that program came out. And I'm 29 now, so that tells you how long ago that's been. So I did Insanity for the first time, and it was amazing. It kept me going. And I remember posting on his wall one day and let him know all these struggles I was having, and thank God for you, blah, blah, blah. One day I hope to meet you, blah, 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 which I did, by the way. So that's super exciting. And then Heather Fultz, she runs Team Boss. She had actually messaged me, and we began a friendship. And then I remember one day I was just creeping on her page, as we all do, and I saw she was a top 10 Beachbody coach. And I thought, I wonder what that is. I wonder if I could do that. So I asked her about it. And as soon as she told me what it was and she sent me that introduction to Team Beachbody video, I knew I was in. I was like, let's do this. This was in October of 2013. We had our interview call, and I knew no matter what I was in. Then I found out it cost money to enroll as a coach. I thought, oh my God, I can't afford this. I can't even afford, I'm putting bills on the back burner so I can feed myself, that sort of thing. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll do it in December, or I'll do it fresh January 1st. I'll do it. It'll be fine. And then I started thinking to myself about how all these situations were not working out. And I thought, oh my gosh, okay, really can't afford to do this, but I know I'm going to do really well at this. I know I can do this. I have the work ethic and the drive to do this. And I'm not going to cry. Totally fine. But I remember calling my mom, and I said, Mom, I've never asked you for money, but I need you to help me pay my rent on November 1st, because I'm taking $140 out of my rent check to sign up to be a coach. And she said, no, are you insane? You have bills to pay. That's totally irresponsible. And I said, you are absolutely right. And I would tell the same thing to myself, but I have a really good feeling about this. I think I can do this. So I went in the negative to become a coach. And within the first month, I became an Emerald coach. I was Diamond coach 6 months after that. And a year after I had signed up, I had replaced enough of my income where I could take that sacrifice and pull out some of these jobs. And now I do this full time. And I personal train part-time, and I'm an Insanity instructor. All these doors just started to open after I took this ridiculous leap of faith that anyone would, even to this day, I'm like, wow, that was not a smart move, because there is a chance that things won't work out, right? But then it was like, I'm responsible for whether this works out or not. So I knew I didn't want to work at a strip club anymore, bartending. And I didn't want to work with sweaty men on the machine shop floor, coming home smelling like a dude every night. Like, that was not something I wanted to do. So after I became a coach, people started following me. I got contacted by a local gym asking me if I wanted to come in and interview to be a personal trainer. And I said, okay, I'm really not experienced in this, but sure. And that has worked out super well. I got certified in Insanity. And, you know, I earned my free trip to Cancun. I got to meet Shanti and tell him, you know, wow, if it really wasn't for you, I really would not be here. And I think back, and I thought about it today when I thought about what I was going to talk about, where my life would be if I didn't do this. I don't know what I would be doing. I'd probably still be bartending at the strip club and working in that machine shop. And it's just crazy, because I can tell you that there have been moments, there will be moments, and that's with anybody who owns any business that's not just Beachbody coaches, where you are like, oh, what am I doing? But then there are moments when you think back, like, I will never go back to that again. That year was the worst year of my life, and I never want to feel that way again. And no matter how bad of a business week I'm having with Beachbody, it is still leaps and bounds above what that was. Like, and it's just amazing the people I have met because of social media. And Natalie, like, I never would have met, you know, these people that inspire me, that motivate me. And like, it's just outrageous to think how much your life can change. And as far as and something else I credit Beachbody with really is the personal development. Guys, it is super important, not just business, but your personal life. It gave me the courage to end that toxic relationship I was in. I was okay with that. I had let go of the negative people in my life. And with that, a lot of friends too. There are people, and I don't hate them. I just learned that this is for me, you know, I need to be better. And I cut them out of my life, and it was hard, but it's definitely been worth it. And then you put vibes out there of the people you want to attract, you know, and now you've got this whole new circle of friends and things about your life. And I've got this stupid app that sends you back on Facebook, like, look at what you posted a year ago or 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And even last year in coaching, like, just seeing pictures of my face, like, versus now, like, there's just a different light about myself. And I'm not saying that because I'm trying to be like self-centered or something, but like, it is so apparent that I am in a different place mentally and emotionally. Like, it's outrageous. And I totally credit Beachbody for even just pushing me to that point. And next year, you know, my team is going to be an elite team next year. We hope to be, we are. So that's super exciting. And I'm just so, I don't even know what to say. If you're new to this business, or, you know, you've been in it for a while and you really don't know, you know, what direction this is going, or if you're going to be successful, I just encourage you to really think about some of the points in your life, like why you decided to become a coach, and just really run with that, run away from that. Like, that person you were, like that person I was in 2013, like, I never want to meet that person again. So I'm going to constantly start grinding and keep grinding. And that's why I tell my team, and people tell me all the time, Brittany, I don't know, you know, and I'm like, all right, well, give it a few months, you know, push yourself, really, really dive in, because you can really surprise yourself. There have been moments where I'm like, shut up. Oh my God. So, I mean, it's fascinating, and it's just amazing to see what you're capable of, because you're capable of so much more than you know, till you're forced to be put in a position to be a leader and, you know, help someone through Coach Basics or something. Like, it's fascinating. It's fascinating. So that would be.
Dad.
Because he's missed Dad.
We always have kids on my calls too. It's a family affair. So, yeah, I don't think I really missed anything. I wish I had something extremely epic to tell you, other than just, I think just change is inevitable with Beachbody, and doesn't have to be a bad thing. It is all positive. You know, it is all positive. So
that was awesome. So I have a question. How do you plan out your posts? Because I am always inspired by your post. I mean, and the way that you take your pictures and stuff like that, I know that's probably another call, but like, how do you sit down and like plan for a week? Is this what I'm going to post, or does it just pop in your head, or like, how do you do that? Putting on the spot.
A lot of it is just a whim. A lot of it has to do with timing. Like, I have done a lot of, like, I'll go through like previous posts and see what gets a lot more traction at what time, the type of posts I get more traction on. I tend to stick with stuff like that. I have taken a few like just basic marketing classes online that are free that tell you certain things, like certain angles tend to attract more traction, certain colors, just little itty bitty things that you don't tend to think of. I get a lot of my inspiration from personal development, or if like there's something I'm struggling with that day, I try to pull some sort of quote from that. Like right now I'm following Hammer and Chisel, and it's hard, and I'm pulling a lot of quotes from like Muhammad Ali and Arnold Schwarzenegger and things like that, and just pulling all that together. I try to do the personal posts, the fitness posts, and the Beachbody posts, but I don't really talk a lot about the products on my page a whole lot. I mostly just share the photos of it. I don't know. I don't really, if I look back and they're completely different than they were like a year ago. Like even my posts have evolved with my personality now, I guess. I don't know. I just try to think. A lot of it also comes from conversations I have with people that day. Like if someone's talking about how they struggle with food, I'll do a food post at the end of the day or something, like I will also say a really good marketing technique in terms of like post a lot of traction is if you go through a day where you're meeting a whole bunch of new people and you're talking to a whole bunch of people, and I would recommend doing some sort of fitness post later in the day, because chances are they're likely to see it in terms of like a challenge group post or a free group post. So if you're meeting a whole bunch of new people that day, I highly recommend you do something like that. That's been successful for me. So that sort of thing. I don't know if that really answered your question. I'm trying to think
it totally did. It totally did. I think it's funny though, because when you say you look back like a year ago, and the time hop like from 2 years ago, or even like 2 years ago, I'll have like a picture that I thought at the time was really good, right? And the picture I thought was really good, and I had like 2 likes. Seriously, like nobody liked it. And we've built, over the course of the time, a little bit of a following, and now we get a substantial, now it's like, well, if I don't have more than 2 likes, what's wrong? But when you first start out, it's okay to get those first 2 likes, or even 1 like. And then even like Lindsay Matway, you go back, if you go to her picture and you go back instead of forward, she has like 2 or 3 likes. So the point is, it's just a consistency over time of sharing your journey with this whole thing, with coaching and with fitness and with food and with business and with everything that Beachbody has. So I don't know, I went off on a tangent there, but it's so it's funny how you evolve over
right. And I want to say also there, in far as Summit, Janelle Summers talked about how she shared a picture of her dogs one day and it went viral, which means it gets over 200 likes, I think means something went viral. And I thought, and she's right. She's like, it's okay to post stuff like that occasionally, because when it's a public post and people like it, it shows up on their feed, and people they are friends with see it and so on and so forth. So don't be afraid to post something non-fitness related. Just put yourself in it, bring yourself around. As far as pictures go, I just have a timer on my phone, and I end up taking probably 20 before I pick one, because you don't want the one with the double chin, or you're like, ooh, no, that one's a horrible angle, it just takes forever. So, and then edits. Oh my gosh, it's amazing what a filter will do when you're not feeling it at the moment. So
very, very true. God, you're a Beachbody coach. Whenever you're trying to take a picture, all of a sudden it says your pictures are full, and you're like, oh no, how do I have to
or a video?
Promise I'm not that vain. Why do I have
right? Terrible.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, let's see. We've got a few more minutes. Does anybody have any questions for Miss Brittany? Come on, guys. We skipped a week from our call, so I'm sure we've got something on our minds. Or maybe not even a question. Does anybody want to share something that's happened this week that you are excited about?
What's your nickname legit?
Paul, I heard that. No.
He doesn't realize that.
I love you, darling.
I love you, darling. He says.
Did you tell him that the new phrase is not legit? It's I feel like.
I feel like, yeah. So we say that now too. I feel like, and we like notice it on TV too. People are like, and I feel
right? It's everywhere. It's not just me.
Hashtag I feel like. All right, so Veronica says, what social media platforms do you use aside from Facebook?
Just Instagram and Facebook. I can tell you when I took a marketing class, a bunch of marketing specialists, it's just like anything else. Like pick one or two things and master them. Do not spread yourself too thin across different platforms. There's no way you'll be able to keep up. Master it. And I like Instagram because you can connect with a large amount of people very quickly. And if you haven't taken Chalene Johnson's Instagram Impact, I think it's free, her short course on it. She'll talk about like how to use hashtags and how to do that. And when I took that, like I went from like 300 followers to like 800 in a very short amount of time. So I definitely recommend that. So just pick a couple things and just master them. I do get, honestly, I don't really get a lot of clients to the gym. Just because, I mean, it's a great way to meet people in person, but I'm really just in and out with my one clients. I do meet the majority of people on Facebook, and I don't sponsor posts really on my like page. My like page is only there because of that, really. I like to reach out and meet people. I do a lot of different things. I'm a cat lover. I do a lot of cat things, TV shows I like, depending on the holiday. I do other things like Daily Burn and like Lululemon and Athletica and Nike, those types of like pages you can go on there and comment and talk to people that way. So they're already into fitness. And I've met so many Beachbody coaches on those pages. I'm like, really? Like, come on. So those types of pages, referrals are great, but referrals are also kind of iffy because you want to turn those people into coaches then so they can benefit. And that's how I always tell people too, like, when they refer people to me, I'm like, do you want to benefit from this or do you want me to? Because I mean, let's get you started right, like right now. Like, look at this. You've already got people, you know what I mean? So that's another great way to get coaches too, is through referrals. And don't be afraid to reach out. So that's a big thing.
How do you ask for referrals? Do you just come out and ask personal, or do you do it in your groups?
It depends. I do a lot of free cleaning challenges. I do one a month, and I usually say, bring a friend, get your family involved. Let's make this easier for you. And one of the daily posts I do in my free fitness group is post on Facebook what you've been doing. Tell people you've been eating clean and see what they say. And I usually go on their page and like it so I can follow it. So if people comment on it, I can obviously talk to them and interact with them as well. You'd be surprised, though, how many people will refer people to you based on your relationship with them, which is why building relationships is super important, because I'll get people that message me and say, hey, I'm sending a friend to your website, just to let you know. And I'm like, oh, that's cool of you. Didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I reach out to that person and they become a challenger. And so you never know. So that's why consistency is also key. So.
Absolutely. All right. So we are getting close to time, and I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your evening. I know that, this doesn't do anything for you other than just you doing, us a favor just by sharing your thoughts and your journey. So we really, really, really appreciate it. And
I hope it was helpful in some way.
Absolutely.
I think so.
Yes, for sure. I know that I got some good tips out of it. So I think everybody else did too. So anybody else have anything at all?
I will say this about the posts on Facebook too. Follow people you admire, not just Beachbody coaches, but leaders in anything. Mimicry is the highest form of flattery. I'm not saying you need to copy and paste what they say if it inspires you, but quote it or tweak it to you and share it and see how that works for you. If you follow top Beachbody coaches, they all post differently. They all represent themselves on Facebook differently. Someone who really inspires me is Amy Silverman and how she presents herself on Facebook and just how she runs it, you know. So I really model a lot of my, not like my posts, but like my pictures and things like that based on like stuff that has worked for her. Because like Janelle Summers said at Summit, if it works for someone, try it and see if it works for you. We're not saying it will, but it's something to try. So, and put your personality into it because you don't want to lose yourself in all of this, okay? It is your brand. Beachbody is not your brand. You are your brand. You know, people know me for superheroes. That is a brand I have put out there into the world unintentionally, but it has worked well for me. So that's the thing.
Love it. Love it.
I feel like I'm rambling. Sorry.
You're not at all. I mean, you're doing great. Really, you are. I wish I would have taken more notes, but that's what the recording's for. Because I always go back like 2 hours later just to kind of like refresh my brain and then go back and listen again. Because I always get new stuff out of the calls. So, well, thank you all for getting on tonight. Share, hammer and chisel, and you know. So because it's the holidays doesn't mean that we can't invite people to challenges. If anything, inviting people to the business opportunity, because now is the time that we need to bring coaches on, because the new year is great, but a lot of people are going to decide what they want to do now, what they're going to do in the new year. So bringing coaches on now is a perfect time. We will have our sneak peek Monday through Friday, which is the 14th to the 18th. So go ahead and start inviting people. And I know I've said this before, post it on Facebook, but personally invite people. Go to your personal messenger, say, hey, look, I don't know if this is for you or not, or we're having a sneak peek to share what we do with coaching. Do you want me to have you added to the group? No big deal. If you don't want to, bam. And even with that message, you can copy and paste it. Invite everybody. And our last sneak peek was really, really awesome. It was a new one that we've done with Posh, and it was great. So we got a great response from it. So start inviting to that. I'm going to post in our group that we will be hosting it Monday because the holidays are coming up. We don't want to do it, obviously, the week of Christmas. So anyway, thank you all for getting on. Thank you so much, Brittany. We really appreciate your time and all of your tips. And I can't wait to see you on the cruise, right?
Still on the wait list.
Ah!
But it's all paid for. I'm just waiting for it to.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people will come off. What number? Do you know which number you're at now?
I haven't looked recently.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to.
All right. Well, let's get a picture real quick.
Lord.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Remind me how to do this. Do I need to unmute? Who do I need to mute to tell me?
Isn't it? Do you have a Mac? Isn't it Control Command 3 or something? Shift.
Okay, let's try it. Nope. Is it F3?
Okay, it's Shift.
I just lost the screen. What is it?
Shift Command 3. I heard it. It went.
Oh, I had a double chin. Hold on. All right, I took a few. All right. Thank you all so much. Love you guys. And have a good week. And we'll see you in the team page. Bye.
Bye.